Hello again and welcome back. Welcome to a new class, to class number 188. Yes, sir, we have only 8 classes left. And when we finish the class today, we'll have only 7 classes left. Every day we have 1 class left. Have you noticed that phenomenon? It's a phenomenon of physics and mathematics. Every time we consume one, we have 1 less left. All right? When we started this course 8 months or almost 9 months ago, I think we had, at the beginning we had 195 classes. So after the first class, we had only 194 classes left. And I did the final countdown, and now we have only 8 classes left. In fact, we have 7.9 classes left because I've already finished 10% of this class, at least my part. All right. I have about 7 minutes left in this part. 6 or 7 minutes left. So I think I'd better, más vale que cambie porque si no se enfada. I think I'd better switch to camera number 1. So let's switch, please. All right, yesterday in class 187, we were looking at 2 concepts, negative questions. These are easy things. Practically everything we're going to do in this class and the next 7 after this are simply to review, because we've shown you everything that we consider relevant. If you want to learn new things, those new things are much less important for your English than what you have already seen. And if you don't know what you have already seen well, then it's better to spend your time reviewing and consolidating and agilizando, gaining agility, than to learn new things. Of course, intellectually, it's more stimulating to learn new things. It gives you the impression that you're progressing, but you're not. Because if you continue going into new terrain, but you're not covering your supply lines and your rear guard, the enemy will attack and destroy you. All right? If you build a skyscraper, un rascacielos, and the foundation and the first floors are not very good, it will fall. So progressing doesn't mean necessarily building new. It means consolidating the old and making sure it's strong, okay? And remember, I've told you many times, but I need to repeat it because sometimes it doesn't enter. In fact, sometimes no, usually the things I say don't enter the people. Without a doubt, everything that is included in the beginner's program, Programa de Principiantes, is 5 times more important or 20 times more important than many of the things we're seeing in the advanced program. More important for everyday communication and even more important for high-level communication. If you need to talk about medicine, engineering, law, finance, 80 or 90% of the words that you will use and that you will hear are contained in the first book and for beginners and the second book for pre-intermediate, in this case in the beginners section. So don't look down on. To look down on is mirar por encima del hombro a lo que se enseña a nivel principiante. Don't look down on, despreciar. Don't look down on what I'm teaching and the other teachers are teaching for the beginners, because it's much more important than what we're teaching now. And now, today, tomorrow, yesterday, we're reviewing things that are basically from the intermediate level, not from the advanced. But because it's so important, we want to do it again and again and again. Remember, learning English is 80 or 90% review and consolidation, and only 10 and 20% progress, entre comillas, quote, progress, quote unquote. You have to define progress. Progress means improvement, not forward movement necessarily. And improvement means consolidating what you don't know 100% well. Okay, so yesterday we were looking at 2 different concepts. Negative questions. Why doesn't Spain import olive oil? Why don't the politicians in this country work harder? Why haven't the Spanish people managed to equal the Germans in productivity. Why isn't Spain in the top 7 countries in the world? Why hasn't Spain had the opportunity? Or why hasn't Spain become a member of the NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement? Well, because Spain is in Europe. It's not in North America. Why didn't Viriato invade Rome? Why didn't Hannibal enter Rome with the elephants after defeating the Romans twice in northern Italy? Why didn't he go straight to Rome? Why didn't he go straight to Rome? Rome was on her knees at that time, and Hannibal went down to the south of Italy, bypassing Rome. Why didn't he go straight to Rome and destroy the empire? Well, the republic at that moment. And why didn't the German high command convince Adolf Hitler not to invade Russia, not to invade the Soviet Union? And why didn't Napoleon stay away from Spain? Coming into Spain was the beginning of his downfall. All right? And why doesn't Maria spend more time giving me indications? Yeah. All right, those are negative questions. Why wouldn't you like to speak perfect English? Etc. Another thing we saw yesterday was when was the last time? This is a beautiful exercise for you to do. Look at a list of irregular verbs and ask, when was the last time you saw? I've never seen. Always questions that you expect a negative answer. When was the last time you saw a pink elephant? I've never seen a pink elephant. When was the last time you came to this studio with me? I've never come to this studio with you. When was the last time you did something stupid? Well, I've never done anything stupid, maybe. All right. When was the last time you broke that camera? I've never broken that camera. When did you last sleep under a bridge? I've never slept under a bridge. When did you last throw this pencil at Maria? I've never thrown this pencil, well, this pen, at Maria. When did you last tell Maria a funny joke? I've never told Maria a funny joke. It's a very good exercise. Try it. It will help you with your English a lot.
Hello there, and it's good to see you again. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're practicing your English. And now we're going to review your last class, okay? And we're going to review it with Anna of the 5 names. How's Anna of the 5 names today?
Anna of the 5 names is good.
Good, all right, okay. How are you doing out there? Okay, let's go. The first part. So I'm going to make a statement, and I want you to ask me why using a negative question, okay? So for example, I'll say to you, I didn't do it.
Why didn't you do it?
Very good pronunciation. Can you say it again?
Why didn't you do it?
Okay, always with the contraction. Why didn't you do it? I didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? Why did you not do it? Why didn't you do it? I can't see them.
Why can't you see them?
Very good. And can you say that with an English accent?
Why can't you see them?
Okay, so for Anna, for me, why can't? For an English person, why can't? Why can't you? Okay? That horse isn't mine.
Why isn't that horse yours?
Very good. Why? So that horse isn't mine. Why isn't that horse yours? Nobody told me about it.
Why didn't anybody tell you about it?
Very good. Okay, so here you change nobody to anybody. Nobody told me about it. Why didn't anybody tell you about it? I don't like thinking too much.
Why don't you like thinking too much?
Okay. They don't like answering questions.
Why don't they like answering questions?
Very good, very good. She doesn't eat tinned pineapple. Tinned pineapple in a tin, and you can use tin as an adjective. So una lata.
Okay.
So she doesn't eat tinned pineapple.
Why doesn't she eat tinned pineapple?
Okay. Do you eat tinned pineapple?
No, I don't.
I eat a lot of tinned pineapple. Their horses aren't strong enough.
Why aren't their horses strong enough?
Very good. Okay, so their horses aren't strong enough. Why aren't their horses strong enough? Okay, try this one at home. They wouldn't go with them. They wouldn't, or they would not, they wouldn't go with them. Okay, can you try that one?
Why wouldn't they go with them?
Very good. Why wouldn't they go with them? Okay, nobody told them.
Why didn't anybody tell them?
Very good, very good. They couldn't win the game.
Why couldn't they win the game?
Excellent. They weren't allowed to read the book.
Why weren't they allowed to read the book?
Very good. I couldn't see.
Why couldn't you see?
Very good. Nobody spoke to them.
Why didn't anybody speak to them?
Very good. And again,
Why didn't anybody speak to them?
very good. I didn't want to look.
Why didn't you want to look?
My eyes weren't opened.
Why weren't your eyes opened?
Very good. And again,
Why weren't your eyes opened?
very good. They don't drink water.
Why don't they drink water?
Excellent. Okay. They weren't tall enough. They weren't tall enough.
Why weren't they tall enough?
Okay, very good. So keep practicing your negative questions. Now, next, part 2. Okay. When did you last? So questions with when did you last, followed by a verb in this case. So I'll say to you, when did you last see an eagle?
I last saw an eagle
Very good.
3 years ago.
Okay, so when did you last see an eagle? I last saw an eagle 3 years ago. Now, if the answer was never, how would you say it?
I've never seen an eagle.
Very good. So when did you last see an eagle? I last saw an eagle 3 years ago. I last saw an eagle 3 years ago, or I've never seen an eagle. When did you last have a sore eye?
I last had a sore eye 2 weeks ago.
Okay, okay. Ask me when I last have had a sore eye.
When did you last have a sore eye?
I have a sore eye right now. When did you last build a bridge?
I've never built a bridge.
Very good. So when did you last build a bridge? I've never built a bridge. Okay. Give me an answer in the affirmative. Imagine you have built a bridge.
I
I
last built a bridge last week.
Very good. So I last built a bridge last week. I've never built a bridge. When did you last build a bridge? Okay. When did you last telephone 200 people in one day?
I've never telephoned 200 people in one day.
Very good. When did you last think about swimming in freezing water?
I've never thought about swimming in freezing water.
In freezing water. And again?
I've never thought about swimming in freezing water.
Okay. When did you last think about swimming in freezing water? I've never thought about swimming in freezing water. When did you last wear 5 coats at the same time?
I last wore 5 coats at the same time 4 years ago
4 years. Where were you?
in Portugal.
In Portugal. Okay, so she last wore 5 coats at the same time. How many years ago?
4 years ago.
4 years ago in Portugal. Okay. When did you last tell me to get lost?
I've never told you to get lost.
And what does get lost mean?
To
Yeah.
leave.
To get out. To it's very rude to get lost. Okay. When did you last talk to a cat about the economy in Greece?
I've never talked to a cat about the economy in Greece.
Okay, so she's never talked to a cat about the economy in Greece. Okay. When did you last attack me with a knife?
I've never attacked you with a knife.
Very good. When did you last fly a kite? Like the children fly in the sky. When did you last fly a kite?
I've never flown a kite.
Oh, very good. Okay, so keep practicing. When did you last? And thank you very much for watching, and see you again. Bye-bye.
All right, welcome back. Formulating questions. In Vaughan, we call it mastering the interrogative. Llegando a un buen dominio del interrogativo, formulando preguntas en inglés. Okay, we've done this before. We've probably done it several times. We've worked time and again, time and again, time and time again, time and again, time and again, time and time again. We've worked on mastering the interrogative because it's necessary for some strange reason. I've already told you this once or twice. For some strange reason, Spanish people conveniently forget how to formulate the interrogative the moment they walk out of the English class. In the English class, my Spanish students always or quickly develop the interrogative when I'm questioning them. Then they go out. 5 minutes later, they receive a telephone call from London and they say, you want to come to Spain? Yes? Instead of, do you want to come to Spain? You like Spanish food? Yes? Instead of, do you like Spanish food? Very simple questions. Even advanced students have a tendency to forget the auxiliary verb, to formulate an affirmative sentence and say no, yes at the end. Okay, you don't like potatoes, yes? All right, so we need to continue again and again and again, making your ear hear the interrogatives so often that they become part of your structure. They become part of your body. They become part of your brain. So let's go to camera number 1 and continue. All right. I go to the States once a year. How often do you go to the States? This exercise you can do. You take a sentence, write a sentence in the affirmative, and ask a question about it. I used to work with my father. Who did you used to work with? I got married in 1977. When did you get married? I'll be there. I'll call you tomorrow at 11 a.m. When will you call me tomorrow? I feel tired when I finish these classes. How do you feel when you finish the class? I usually drink wine for lunch. What do you usually drink for lunch? I usually have lunch with my daughter. Who do you usually have lunch with? All right. I get along with Maria fine. Hey, Richard, how do you get along with Maria? All right. I'm 1 meter 80 centimeters. How tall are you? I'm 57 years old. How old are you? All right. I weigh 100. I weigh quantum peso. I weigh 185 kilos. How much do you weigh? My sister weighs 170. Can't you go 185? I'm thinking in pounds. I weigh 185 pounds. I weigh 85 kilos. My sister weighs 70 kilos. How much does your sister weigh? I teach English for a living. Well, what do you do for a living, Richard? I teach English. My sister's an interior decorator. Well, what does your sister do for a living? She's an interior decorator. Mr. Obama lives in the White House. Where does Mr. Obama live? Maria is from Almeria. Where is Maria from? Silvio Berlusconi is the Prime Minister of Italy. Who's the Prime Minister of Italy? Silvio Berlusconi. The capital of Germany is Berlin. What's the capital of Germany? Berlin. What city is the capital of Germany? All right. Tony Blair Tony Blair used to be the Prime Minister of Great Britain. Who used to be the Prime Minister of Great Britain? Tony Blair. All right. Spain joined the European Union in 1986. When did Spain join the European Union? Franco died in 1975. When did Franco die? I came to Spain the first time in 1972. When did you come to Spain the first time? I met my wife in 1975. When did you meet your wife? We started going out together in 1976. When did you start? We started going out together in 1977. Really? When did you start going out together? Okay. Yes. We went to Madeira on our honeymoon. Well, where did you go on your honeymoon? All right. I've taught 4 classes so far this week. How many classes have you taught so far this week? I've thought about the current economic problems in Greece at least 10 times this week. How many times have you thought about the problems in Greece this week? At least 10 times. I've gone to the airport twice this month. How many times have you gone to the airport so far this month? I've spoken to Maria twice at the coffee machine today. Well, how many times have you spoken to Maria at the coffee machine today? Maria has filled my cup only once so far today. How many times has Maria filled your cup so far today? There are 19 pencils in this container. How many pencils are there in that container? All right. I'm holding a pen in my right hand. Excuse me, Richard, what are you holding in your right hand? Yeah, I'm looking through the Vaughan method. Excuse me, Richard, what are you looking through? Excuse me? What are you looking through? Oh, I'm looking through the Vaughan method right now. Okay, I'm pointing at you. Who are you pointing at? I'm pointing at you. All right. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, Richard. What are you going to do? I'm going to sneeze. Okay. I'm holding my hands together. What are you doing, Richard? I'm holding my hands together. All right. I'm planning to spend next week in Barcelona. What are you planning to do next week? Yeah. I'm planning to stay there for 5 days. How long are you planning to stay there? I was planning to stay there for 6 days originally. How long were you originally planning to stay there? Formulating questions. You need to practice again and again and again. There's no alternative. All right. Mastering the interrogative, asking questions well, knowing how to formulate your questions quickly, effectively, and with good grammar, of course. What is Maria doing now? What does she do when she comes here in the morning? What did she do after the program yesterday? How many important things has she done so far today? What is she going to do after the class? What will she do if she has to stay here until 10 o'clock? What would she do if she had $1 million? What would she have done last Christmas if she had won the Christmas lottery? All right, questions. Learn how to formulate the interrogative properly, okay?
Hello there, my name is Carly Carson. Nice to see you again. Before we start our class, I want to introduce my student. I'm here with David. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm great as well. All right, if you want to start, we're going to focus on the interrogative today. All right,
Okay.
Again, lots of interrogative practice. You're at the level now that it should just come out naturally. But if it doesn't, we're going to practice. So at home, lots of repetition, okay? David is fast. I've worked with him before. So at home, you got to be fast as well. And try to be as natural as possible. So we'll focus on asking a natural question.
Okay.
Where I put emphasis on the sentence, David asks me the question from before. All right, so if I say I'm from Canada,
Where are you from?
exactly, right? And so he says, where are you from? I say, I'm from Canada. All right, so practicing the question from before. When I woke up yesterday, I yawned and stretched.
Could you repeat, please?
Yeah, when I woke up yesterday, I yawned and stretched.
Okay. What did you do when you wake up? What did you do when you woke up yesterday?
Excellent, good. So what did you do when you woke up yesterday? When I woke up yesterday, I yawned and stretched. Yeah, so good. All right. No, I've never been to Mongolia.
Have you ever been to Mongolia?
Excellent, good. Have you ever been to Mongolia? No, I've never been to Mongolia. Good. I've gone to the States 15 times.
How many times have you gone to the States?
Excellent, good. So you could say the States, the USA, whichever you want. The United States. I talked to my mother yesterday.
When did you talk to your mother?
Excellent, good. I took Amy to the airport.
Who took Amy to the airport?
Good, and now this is all depending on where I put the intonation. I took Amy to the airport.
Who took Amy to the airport?
Good, versus I took Amy to the airport.
Who did you take to the airport?
Good, so notice at home, I took Amy to the airport.
Who did you take to the airport?
Good, and then the last one, I took Amy to the airport.
Where did you take Amy?
Excellent, good. So it depends where you put emphasis that the question is different, all right? Good. He paid me 200 euros.
How much did he pay you?
Good. He paid 70 euros for it.
How much did he pay for it?
Good. So if you're paying for something and you pay someone directly. Good. She told me I shouldn't smoke.
What did he tell you?
She told me.
Yeah.
She?
What did she tell you?
Good. What did she tell you? She told me I shouldn't smoke. Shh, shh. My brother's name is Russell.
What's your brother's name?
Good. Yeah. Very good with the two contractions. What's your brother's name? Good. My brother's wife is from the east of Canada.
Where is your brother's wife from?
Perfect. Good. I was born in England.
Where were you born?
Excellent. If I had known, I would have called.
What would you have done if you had known?
Excellent. Very good, David. So you say, if I had known, I would have called. And the question, what would you have done if you had known? All right. So at home, practicing the intonation with the questions, and where I put the emphasis depends on what question you ask. Good. He has blue eyes.
What color eyes does he have?
Perfect. Good. He studied in the USA.
Where did he study?
Good. He studied journalism.
What did he study?
Good. He got married when he was 29 years old.
When did he get married?
Good, yes. He got married with that t, married. Good. So when did he get married? Good. I ate some grapes.
What did you eat?
Good. What did you eat? I ate some grapes, all right? So think of the natural question and try to think of how you would ask it, because too often we're practicing and we kind of sound like robots, you know? Not David and I, because never. But at home when we're practicing, we're probably like, what did you eat, right? No, it's a question. What did you eat? I ate some grapes. So always try to pretend that you're having a caño with some friends and that you're really focusing on how you sound, right? I think that's the most important. And you say that you listen a lot, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And so you notice how things sound
Yes.
because you listen. Do you
Yes.
try to imitate that?
Yes, I do.
Great.
I watch movies and I try to imitate the actors.
David's an actor, so maybe it's a little easier. But that's the point of always trying to imitate and always trying to sound like the people that you listen to. So again, watching us and imitating us is the perfect way to practice. All right. Yes, I'd like to go.
Would you like to go?
Good. Yeah. Would you like to go? Yes, I'd like to go. Right. Very good. I talked to my mother yesterday.
When did you talk? Who did you talk? Who did you talk to yesterday?
Very good. Because I said I talked to my mother yesterday. Who did you talk to yesterday? Very good. I eat sushi twice a week.
How often do you eat sushi?
Yeah. Very good. He's paid me twice this month.
How many times has he paid you this month?
Good. Or you could say how often as well with this month.
Okay.
You could, but I'd probably say yours is better. David thinks his is better. Very good. It rains here about once a month.
How often does it rain here?
Perfect, good. Yeah, how often? Again, how many times does it rain here a month? Isn't wrong, but in general, how often? How often does it rain here? She said happy birthday to him.
What did he say to him?
She said happy birthday to him.
What did she say to him?
Very good, good, good. And again, those articles and the pronouns, they're difficult to hear, so that's what you have to focus on as well. She said happy birthday to him.
Who did she say happy birthday to?
Excellent, very good with the two at the end. My brother's wife has 2 cats.
How many cats does your brother's wife have?
Ah, very good, one more time.
How many cats does your brother's wife's How many cats does your brother's wife have?
Good, and lots of S's, okay? How many cats does your brother's wife have? Good, so very good. All right, I ate chicken for dinner last night.
What did you eat for dinner last night?
Perfect, good, yeah. If I won $1 million, I'd travel.
What did you do if you won $1 million?
Ooh, what?
What would you do
good.
if you won $1 million?
Perfect. And what would you do if you won $1 million? I'd travel if I won $1 million. Very good. He's tall, dark, and handsome.
What does he look like?
Very good. This is an expression in English. He's tall, dark, and handsome. The perfect man, right? Good. He's kind, patient, and sincere.
What's he like?
Good, very good. So what does he look like? Physical. What's he like? Inside, yeah? He looks like Brad Pitt.
Who does he look like?
Very good. Who does he look like, right? Getting a little challenging here, all right? He's like his father.
Sorry?
He's like his father.
Who is he like?
Perfect. Who's he like? So he's like his father inside. He's sincere. He's kind. He's like his father. Who's he like? That's the question. Who's he like? Very good. His middle name's Frank.
What's his middle name?
His middle.
What's his middle name?
Good. So in English, generally, we have a first name, a middle name, and a last name. So I'm Carly Ann Carson. Yeah, so it's my
Okay.
middle name. Do you have a middle name?
I'm not sure about the meaning of the middle name. It is a surname or
No.
it's a name?
It's a name. For example, my name is Carly Ann.
Okay.
And my last name is Carson. So my
Okay.
surname is Carson.
The-
So, do you have a
Then
middle
my
name?
middle name is David because my first name is Rafael.
Exactly. Perfect.
Yes.
So Rafael David, that would be David is your middle name. I'm Carly Ann, and Ann is my middle name. Yeah, so sometimes in Spanish, it's
Yes.
common to have two names. There you go, your middle name. Good. Let's see. His anniversary is in August.
When is his anniversary?
Perfect. Good. So good intonation when you're asking the questions, and you have to think about how to structure it so that you sound natural. All right, keep practicing that interrogative. Take care.
All right. For the time being, okay? I want to go to camera number 1, but for the time being, I prefer to stay with camera 2, if you don't mind, for the time being. Now, Maria will start to get irritated, but I'll stay here. I prefer to stay here for the time being. Now, let's change quickly. Let's go to camera 1, please. Okay, for the time being. For the time being means de momento. All right. We have decided here to implement a new method. The method is not ready yet, so for the time being, we will continue to use this method. Yeah. Also, Maria told me that the producer and director are planning to change these pencils. They think that the viewing audience is starting to get tired of these pencils. So they're preparing completely new pencils for this program. But for the time being, I'm supposed to continue using these, okay? For the time being, I'm supposed to continue using these. Also, this cup, a lot of the students and television viewers have complained that they're a little bit tired of this cup. And so the director of this program has ordered a new cup with a different style. Yeah. But for the time being, I have to continue using this one. De momento tengo que continuar con este. No hasta nuevo aviso, hasta que traigan la taza nueva. For the time being, for the time being, for the time being. Interesting expression. For the time being. Por o para, for. El tiempo siendo. Qué cosa más rara. Qué expresión más curiosa. Sin embargo, se usa a diario. For the time being. For the time being es de momento, por el momento, por ahora. También existe en inglés for the moment. Yes. Yes, I know I'm going to receive a new cup. I'm excited. Wow, a new cup finally. After 188 classes, finally they're going to give me a new cup. I'm tired of this cup, but for now, until I receive the new cup, I have to continue using the old one. For now, for the moment, for the time being. Existen los tres. For now, for the moment, and for the time being. All right? For you to remember, you can say for now. Well, for now, Richard needs to use the old cup. For the moment, Richard needs to use the old cup. Probably the easiest for you to remember is for the moment. Because in Spanish es por el momento, de momento. Por el momento, tengo que usar este hasta que me traigan la nueva. Okay, so for the moment. Pero os aseguro que por ahí en el 80% de las veces se va a oír for the time being. All right. It's strange how certain relatively strange, well, relatively no, very strange expressions from the logical, grammatical point of view for the time being. It's strange how these expressions are often so much more common in everyday speech than the more rational or logical expressions like for now or for the moment. All right. So I recommend you study these. Okay? You study this expression for the time being. All right? Now, another thing is I have to continue teaching wearing this shirt today and tomorrow. Okay? Because all the other shirts that I wear are in the cleaners. Yeah, lavanderia, they're being cleaned. All right, so for the time being, I have no choice but to wear this one today and tomorrow. So you will notice that tomorrow I'll have the same shirt as I'm wearing today. Yeah, because I have no choice. For the time being, I have to stay with this one because all the rest, well, listen, during the weekends, all right, the shirts that I wear are taken to a special place to be washed and to be ironed, all right? They do everything for me. I'm a privileged teacher here on this program. But last Saturday there was a problem. And apparently well, to tell you the truth, there was a death in the family of the cleaners, lavanderia that does this. And so they were closed. And so it created a logistical problem concerning the shirts I wear. And so there aren't any shirts. They're being washed today. And so for the time being, I'm supposed to wear this shirt today and tomorrow. So it'll be strange. You will watch this class. And for 2 days straight, I'll be wearing the same shirt. But then you remember, aha, yes, Richard told me yesterday. When you see me tomorrow with this shirt on, you'll try to remember, Richard told me, a ver si uso bien esa expresión que nos enseñó. Yes, he told me that the shirts were being washed, estaban siendo lavadas. The shirts were being washed, and that for the time being, he had to wear the same shirt. This beige colored shirt, kind of, all right? So for the time being, yeah, for the time being, for now, for the moment, for the time being, all right? Another thing is my car's in the shop. I've had some trouble with my car, and I took my car to the shop. To the shop means to the repair shop, to the repair garage, to the place where you take your car when it breaks down, okay, or when you have some problems, or when you need to change the oil and to change the spark plugs or something. You take your car to the shop. Now, my car's in the shop right now, and for the time being, I'm using taxis. It's a little bit expensive, you know. For the time being, I'm using taxis. Now, my car has been in the shop for 3 days, and I expect it back tomorrow. I expect it back. I expect them to call me to come pick up the car tomorrow. If they don't, if it takes them another day or two, the cost of these taxis is starting to add up. I think in the last 3 days, I've spent easily 150 euros on taxis. I need to move around a lot. And besides, this program is recorded outside of Madrid, and it costs a fortune to come here by taxi. So, for the time being, I have no choice. De momento no tengo otra alternativa, por el momento. De momento, for the time being, I have no choice. For now, I have no choice because my car is still in the shop, and it's probably too late to change my decision and to stop using taxis and to rent a car. Now, when I finally get my car back, I'm going to make a calculation of the taxis, how much I really spent. And the next time I have to take my car into the shop, I may opt for renting, optar por alquilar, opt, O-P-T. I may opt for renting a car instead of spending a fortune on taxis. Okay? I don't know. We'll have to make the study, a cost study, to see which is more, well, which is less onerous, to go by taxis or to use or to rent a car. But for the time being, I have no choice but to use taxis because my own car is in the shop. Yes, first oil change, to change the tires, and a few little problems, okay, for the time being. I have to go. Yeah, for the time being, I'll leave you with another teacher.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to part 3 of class number 188. My name is Kyle, and I'm here today with Juan. Juan, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. We've been together a lot lately, haven't we, Juan?
Yes, we have.
We're here one more time. It's Juan and I, and today it's part 3, so this means that we have to look at our...
5 words of vocabulary.
Exactly, our 5 words of vocabulary. The first word, chillar.
To scream.
To scream. To scream, yes. Every day. If you say, every day I scream, can you say that?
Every day I scream.
Every day I scream, yeah. So we have that SC, so we have to make sure that we're saying scream and not So there's no movement in the vocal cord, right? I'm sure the teachers have told you this many, many, many times over the last few months. I scream, you scream. We have an expression, well, not an expression, it was an old slogan. Do you like ice cream?
Yes, I like ice cream.
Yeah. We say, I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Well, it was a slogan for it.
Well, I don't know. It was an old, I don't know, jingle, like an old, I don't know if it was from an advertisement or what. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Ah, ice cream. Anyway, yeah. Reanudar.
To resume.
To resume, yes, not resumir, that's a false friend, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
To resume. So we take a break, then we come back, we resume. So we have to resume the class now, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oxidarse.
I forgot.
To rust. To rust.
To rust.
To rust, yeah, to rust. Cars in Canada, they rust a lot because we put salt on the roads to, to melt the snow. And as a result, the cars rust a lot. They get rusty. They rust. Yeah. Well, number 4, dar ejemplo.
To set an example.
To set an example, yeah. Do you think at home, do you think football players should set an example for kids? I think so. I think athletes should. I don't know if they do, but, well, many do, but some don't. Set an example. Set a good example for kids, right?
Yes, they should.
Yeah, you think so? All right. Ensayar. Un evento.
To rehearse.
To rehearse. Yes, to rehearse. The other day we were talking about the Rolling Stones. Do you think the Rolling Stones still rehearse before they play concerts?
I don't think they rehearse any longer. I think it's ad-lib,
The old songs is like, how does that go again? Satisfaction? No, they know it, right?
Yes, they do.
They've played it thousands and thousands of times. I don't know, maybe. I expect they do because they could seem a little bit chapucero. How do you say that?
I don't know.
Sloppy.
How do you spell that?
Sloppy. If they didn't play together for a year or two and then they came back, all right, you're sloppy. We should have rehearsed, right?
Yeah.
The verb to rehearse. All right, now we're going to look at an interesting structure, which is de momento. We say, for the time being. For the time being, right? So are you gonna stay in Spain forever?
I'm going to stay for the time being.
Sorry?
For the time being, I'm going to stay.
So for the time being, you're going to stay, but maybe later you're going to move?
Yeah, yes, maybe later I'm going to move.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, ask me if I'm going to stay in my house forever.
Are you going to stay in your house forever?
No, I won't stay there forever. I'm not going to stay there forever, but I'm going to stay there for the time being. I like my house, so I'll stay there for the time being. Yeah. Are you going to stay in your house forever, or just for the time being? Just for the time being. I'm only here for the time being. Okay. For the time being, right? Let's try a little translation. Do you like translation?
I like translation. Let's go.
Do you like translation? Sure. Okay. De momento vivo en Bilbao.
For the time being, I live in Bilbao.
Yeah, for the time being, I live in Bilbao. De momento voy a tener que cancelarlo. For you at home, de momento voy a tener que cancelarlo. For the time being, I'm going to have to cancel it. We'll do it later, but for the time being, I'm going to have to cancel it. Yeah. De momento, te puedes quedar con nosotros.
For the time being, you may stay with us.
Yeah. If you need a house, you need a place to stay, Juan, no problem. For the time being, you can stay with us. Not forever, but for the time being, right? De momento, guarda esto en tu habitación.
For the time being, keep this in your room.
Yeah. For the time being, keep this in your room. De momento, vivo en las afueras de la ciudad. How do you say that at home? For the time being, I live...
In the outskirts of the city.
Yeah, in the outskirts. Nice. The outskirts, right, of the city. Do you live in the outskirts or do you live in the city center?
No, I live in the outskirts of the city.
Okay. De momento, prefiero no decirte lo que pienso.
For the time being, I don't want to tell you what I think.
Yeah, I don't want to, or I prefer. What do you prefer?
I prefer not telling you what I think.
Not telling you, or not to.
Tell you what I think.
Yeah, to be or not to be. To tell or not to tell. To tell him what I think, or not to tell him what I think. For the time being, I prefer. What did you say again?
For the time being, I prefer not to tell you what I think.
Okay, good. De momento, trabajo. This is for you at home. De momento, trabajo un día sí y otro no. For the time being, I work. Now, we don't say one day yes, one day no. We say, for the time being, I work every other day. Every other day.
I didn't know that.
Juan, I eat eggs every other day. I like them a lot, and there's good protein in eggs, so I eat them a lot. But I don't eat them every day. I eat them every other day. Do you like eggs?
Yeah, I love eggs.
Where does the protein come from? The white part or the, how do you say yema? Yema.
I don't know.
The yolk.
How do you spell it?
Y-O-L-K. Yolk. Y-O-L-K. Yolk. With the silent L. Yolk. Yolk. Is the protein in the white, la clara, the white, or in the yolk?
I think it is in the yolk.
The protein is in the white.
Is it?
But the cholesterol is in the yolk. So if you want to gain muscle without having cholesterol problems, the key is to eat the white, the egg white, and not the yolk. Right? There you go. A little bit of a health tip for you today on the program, right? Very helpful.
Right.
We're learning a lot of things today, right? De momento siguen en primera posición.
By the time being, they're still in first position.
For the time being.
For the time being, they're still in first position.
First position or first
Place?
Place, yeah. For the time being, they're still in first place. Things can change, but for the time being, they're still in first place. Great job, Juan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks to you at home. Good job, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Class number 188 is now behind us, so we only have 7 classes left. Not bad. 7 is a lucky number. It's my lucky number too. We only have 7 classes left, which means in the next 7 sessions we are going to be lucky and improve a lot. Not necessarily because we will learn new things, but because we're going to consolidate very important aspects of the language. So, this is our lucky day because we have 7 classes left. And I expect you to stay with me. Don't miss a class. Don't miss a single class because the last 7 classes of this program are going to be very productive classes. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to improve a lot. You're going to consolidate a lot. You're going to realize that these are going to be the 7 most productive classes of your life. All right. See you tomorrow.